Hello everyone, my name is Natalie and welcome to or back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be talking through some of my top retellings. These are by no means the only retellings I love. This isn't a definitive list, but these are just some of them. I'll probably do more videos like this in the future. Now the first book I'm going to be talking about is a retelling of one of my favourite books of all time, and that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and the book is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. In case you're not sure what this one is about, this is essentially the Queen of Hearts origin story, so it's her villain story. It tells the story of how she became an innocent girl to the villain that we know and love. In this book, the Queen of Hearts, or Kath as she's known in the beginning, absolutely loves to bake. Her main goal is she wants to open her own bakery with her absolute best friend. The issue with this is her parents have other ideas and they want her to marry the king. Her parents are very ambitious and they don't really care what Kathy wants at all, what she wants out of the future. They only care about what they want for her, despite the fact that she constantly, time and time again, explains to them that this is not what she wants. This book is heart-wrenching. It is also, it makes you feel so many emotions. It's heart-wrenching, it makes you angry, you get frustrated at her parents, and there's so many times when you look at it and think, if this had changed, she would not have become the villain she is, which for some is a good thing, some is a bad thing. Also, there is a love interest in this book which is not the King of Hearts. Their love story in this is heartbreaking and tragic, and I think what shows this is an amazingly written book is the fact that even though you know what she turns into, even though you know the end, all the way through it you're hoping that the story changes and that she gets her happily ever after. And I think that's an amazing thing a writer can do with a story that you already know the ending to. You already know who she's going to become, but it doesn't stop you hoping and, you know, wanting her to have, you know, the happy ever after, the good ending. So I absolutely love this one. I think I've given it a 5 out of 5 stars in the past, but if you are a fan of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, then I do recommend you picking this one up. The next few books I'm going to talk about, I don't actually own any of these books, but I need to own them. The next one I'm going to mention is called Bitter Greens by Kate Forsyth. This is a Rapunzel retelling, I had to think then, and I absolutely adored this retelling. This is the first retelling I had read where the actual time period that this fairy tale is known to have taken place and the original time period of Rapunzel, this book actually takes place in that time period. So it's kind of like a retelling of Rapunzel but in historical fiction format, and I think it does wonderfully. Another thing to note about this retelling is that this was actually taken from the original Rapunzel story by Brothers Grimm. So when this story is being retold, it's being retold with that in mind. I've read the original Rapunzel tale of Brothers Grimm and I really enjoyed it. This one just enhances it though. It adds the extra bits that you're wondering about. It fleshes the story out more, it fleshes the characters out more, and I truly loved this book. I haven't read it since I first read it about 6 years ago now, and it needs a reread. I need to own a copy of this. I'm going to have to pick one up soon. Next up we have a modern day retelling of Pride and Prejudice. Now this book is called Eligible by Curtis Sittenfeld. This book was hilarious. Honestly, it made me laugh out loud so many times. As I said, this is a modern day retelling of Pride and Prejudice where the Bennet family and Bingley are taking part in this reality TV show called Eligible, and it's absolutely, I imagine, I've never seen it, but I imagine it's kind of like similar to The Bachelor, and I absolutely adored this. It was hysterical. The way Darcy is written in this book is amazing. Elizabeth is fantastic. What they did with each of these characters and how they showed them in a modern day setting and in a modern day time period is incredible. I absolutely loved this one. If you love Pride and Prejudice, or if you enjoyed Pride and Prejudice, give this one a go, because at the very least I think it will make you laugh. So next up we've got a retelling of A Christmas Carol. This one is called Marleys Ghost and it is by David Levithan, I think is how you pronounce the last name. And this is, like I said, a retelling of A Christmas Carol, but this takes place in high school, and instead of following the holiday of Christmas, it follows the holiday of Valentine's Day. And our main character has just lost his girlfriend, and this is when, I can't remember if it's Cupid or another sort of like god of love, pulls him away. And we've got the past, present and future elements as well. They pull him away and they show him past like Valentine's Day and present Valentine's Day, and yeah, I absolutely loved this one. I don't know if it's because I went into it with such low expectations, because A Christmas Carol is again another of my absolute favourite classical books, and I was so scared and worried when I was told to read it, because I thought this is going to be terrible, it's going to like ruin the story, it's going to make a mockery of it. And I was really pleasantly surprised. I absolutely, like I said, I loved this story. I was really surprised by it. I really enjoyed it. And it's a YA contemporary with the usual magical elements that are in A Christmas Carol, and yeah, it's wonderful. The next book I'm going to mention is one that I read because I found it in the library when I was working there, and it just stood out to me. And this is a retelling of Jane Eyre, and this one is called Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. Again, this was another retelling that really made me laugh. I will tell you the tagline of this book because this is what hooked me. So you know how in the original Jane Eyre the the big line is, "Reader, I married him." This tagline is, "Reader, I murdered him." In this book, Jane Eyre becomes Jane Steele. Jane Steele is a murderess. She has murdered a few people, all for good reasons, so she's a very morally grey character. The story is the same, as she still ends up working as a governess. She still ends up, you know, in Mr. Rochester's household, but the difference is she can definitely handle herself, and if she needs to, she can and will get rid of people in order to escape. So again, this one was so funny, it was fascinating, and I really enjoyed this retelling and this reimagining of this classic novel. Okay everyone, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, or if now that I've mentioned them you want to read them, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it. If this seems like content you will enjoy, then please subscribe down below. And I'll see you later. Bye!